Alright, so Azra, legendary minion, taunt. Battlecry, gain +5 health for each elemental you played last turn. This, I feel, obviously if you're making an elemental deck, you're going to want elementals. This is a pretty legit elemental, even though the cost is so high. And it's kind of somewhat underwhelming because it's only a 5 attack minion. But then you realize that it has taunt. And that seems to be a very big central theme for a lot of the cards that are in this expansion. And the taunt really does help to push it a little bit further. So you kind of almost... it's like a worse... What's the card? Ancient of War.
It kind of is. But there is something I want to point out here. It is an elemental. And in Shaman, you can get a reduction on its cost. So all of a sudden,
it's still not cheaper than Ancient of War.
It still isn't cheaper than Ancient of War, but depending on how you can sequence things out, it is very, very, very likely that you can make this into a 520 taunt.
I guess.
No, I'm not even kidding. So you get this down to 8, right? And then you come here to the Shaman one, and you play the Stone Sentinel on 7. That's 3 elementals coming out, and then you play Osrook, and you get a 520. Now here's where things get even more fun. If they don't kill Osrook that turn, you can flip it over with Crazed Alchemist, throw Wind Fury on it, and smash your opponent's face for a complete lethal and then some.
That's one hell of a combo, I'll give you that.
Nobody's going to do it, but it's... You know, I always look at...
Yeah, the potential is definitely there. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Alright, so moving next, we have Hemet Jungle Hunter.
Woo-hoo.
Alright.
The younger brother to Hemet Nesumur.
Yeah, pretty much. 6 mana for a 6/6 Battlecry. Destroy all cards in your deck that cost 3. Okay, or 3 or less. So this is a great way if like you're in your end game and you don't want any of this low cost shit, you only want to find your top end shit, right? This is a card that makes sense. It thins out your deck and only puts your high value cards in play. Where I see this as having some value is definitely in Druid. Because once you get to that point where you're starting to get all your...
So you can kill off your low cost cards like your growth, your wild growths.
The wild growth does have a value of just being able to draw cards, but if you've already been able to get to that point and you can just thin out your deck, it's kind of doing the same thing without you having to spend the 2 mana to do that as well. So I kind of think that it makes some sense there. But the downside that you run into is if you're playing up against anybody who has some serious board clears, they end up wiping your board, and now you have a very insignificant deck to deal with probably a much fuller deck that they had. When Frodan used this card, he dropped down to only having 8 cards left in his deck, while his opponent still had something like 15. So the fatigue race was fucking real at that point.
But then again, at the same time, I guess it also depends on how you build your deck. Because I mean, if you just make something like, say for instance, I don't know, something to do with Astral Communion, maybe. Do we even still have that as that right there?
Rotating out.
Alright, so scratch that then. But you get the idea. You build a ramp deck and you just fill it with a lot of high cost stuff. But obviously you're still going to be running some low cost stuff, like whether you're that Wrath card or maybe you don't want a dead draw of an Innervator. So you play this and it kills off all that low cost shit that you don't really need because you're already at your high mana ramp.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, next up we have Elise Trailblazer. 5 mana, 5/5. Battlecry, shuffle a sealed Ungoro pack into your deck. Now,
I love this card.
As they explained in the stream, you have a much better odds of getting a good pack than you would when you open a regular pack in Hearthstone normally. And in that example, they showed us 2 legendaries, an epic, a rare, and a common.
I hope to God I get this shit golden.
You just love Elise, don't you?
I love golden cards that generate more cards. That's so good.
Oh, it is. It really is. Oh, I think the card is kind of situationally good and situationally bad. The RNG effect is really going to just be, roll them dice, skill shot. But I haven't really seen too much in the game that could possibly break it.
Yeah, not like I legit, honestly, it's a legendary. You can easily run a one-off this in any deck because for one, it's decent statted. 2, it's a legendary, and 3, like at the end of the day, it's a 5 for 5 for 5.
True.
This is a good minion, like for the most part, all around.
And I would like to point out, it's the only legendary that has the possibility of giving you a copy of itself.
This is also true. Not to mention, also, it does help stave off fatigue because it adds to your deck.
No, pack.
It shuffles a pack into your deck.
Yeah, so if you're playing,
you have to draw it.
Oh yeah. So I mean, if you're playing with that whole Hemet concept there, you use Elise to kind of stave that off. Then.
Legitness.
It is legit. All right. Next up, we have the Spirit Singer Umbra. 4 mana for a 3/4. After you summon a minion, trigger its Death Rattle effect. Oh shit.
Yeah, this is the card everyone's talking about. This is going in every freaking Death Rattle deck. Hands down, no questions asked. Decent cost statted minion. Same cost stat as Barnes. And with an effect that sticks around, it's not a one-time playoff. So, I mean, this definitely, like, you get this out on 4, and then anything you play after is just instant value. Whether you're playing a Karn on 6, whether you're playing, what's that? Either a Thalnos or Harvest Golem.
Even Leopard Gnome. Leopard Gnome becomes 5 damage value then.
Exactly. Hell, you could even play this in the freaking Hunter Death Rattle specifically, and this will see insane value.
I know high main suddenly become
6/5 on a 2/2/2/2. Like,
yeah,
come on.
That's some scary stats, guys. Scary stats. Like, if this is played on turn 4, kill it instantly. I don't care what the fuck you have to do. Kill it instantly.
It's one of those cards. You just gotta get rid of it, man.
You honestly do. All right. Next up, we've got the Vorax. Kind of like the Lorax, just a lot angrier. Little Dr. Seuss reference for you guys there. So 4 mana 3/3. After you cast a spell on this minion, summon a 1/1 plant. Cast another copy on it.
And this happens every time you cast a spell.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now.
The Gene's baby brother.
There are a couple classes that I could see this working really well in. First off is Druid.
Lots of low-cost spells.
Well, think about it. You could put one of the marks on it.
Exactly.
Right? So you put Mark of the Wild on it. So you're talking about a 6 mana play. You get a 5/5 taunt, and you get a 3/3 taunt plant for 6 mana. That's not bad value.
Not bad at all.
No, it's not. So, yeah, this has some pretty good value there. Will it see play? Maybe. In a token type deck, I could definitely see this having some value. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Paladins is the other class I was going to say. I also see some pretty good value on this because Blessing of Might, Blessing of Kings, Blessing of Strength, all that shit. Even in Priest, you could get some value on this with Power Word Tentacle, also known as Power Word Hentai, Shadow, Power Word Shield. I mean, so you get some value there too. It's not horribly good at Priest, but it definitely has a lot more value in, say, Paladin and Druid. Alright, next up we have the Charged Devil Sword. 8 mana for a 7/7. Charge, Battlecry. Can't attack heroes this turn, but you can knock the shit out of any fucking minion. Oh, man.
This is a decent card. Like, I can see why they wouldn't make it a 8/8. So at least it does. It's not just a direct clean trade, but it's somewhat on the lower side of a direct clean trade. Because most I would think off the top of my head when I think of a 8 mana or a 8 cost minion, I think of them having 8 life by default.
Yeah. Now here's a really cool thing you can do with this card. All right. Now it's 8 mana. So if you play it on 9 as a paladin, you still have 1 mana left over to throw adaptation on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can give it Divine Shield. You can give it Wind Fury. Right? So you could actually trade off 2 smaller minions, kind of clear some board up there. At that point, it becomes kind of like the sandworm, the giant sandworm that Hunter's got that nobody ever fucking has touched.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's some cool possibilities with it. I think Divine Shield's probably going to be the best one. Or eat more health. That way it can do some more trading. And then you're looking at a 7-10 charger that can only attack minions when it comes down into play. That's one evil fucking dinosaur. Alright, next up we've got the Primordial Drake. 8 mana for a 4/8 taunt. Battlecry, deal 2 damage to all other minions.
One of the, if not the only dragon that we got in this expansion.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a fucking baller of a dragon. I like it.
I like it too.
I don't see how you don't like this card, ever.
I mean, hey, like I said, taunt minion, what's not to like? And you get a AoE spell off of it. I mean, hell, I would definitely be totally fine with playing this in a turn over playing my 5-costed holding over.
Like this I could almost guarantee is going to show up in warrior decks. Hell, even abominations can show up in those decks too now. It makes a little bit more sense. But I can definitely see this showing up there. Alright, moving on, we have the Tortolian Primal List. 8 mana, 5/4. Now, remember when I said that there was an 8 mana card that you would say, yeah, that's a really good pool, except for this one. Stat-wise, this card is way undervalued. And its value is on its Battlecry.
It's a Battlecry. That was what I was just about to say. That's the downside.
So getting this just feels like total shit. But
it looks so adorable.
It does look so adorable. And this was actually in the card flicker at the beginning of the Journey to Ungaro trailer that they showed us.
Nice.
It was one of the last cards in that flicker. So, yeah. Discover a spell and cast it with random targets. It's like Yogg Light. That's what it is. It's Yogg Light.
I can see that.
Yeah. So,
because we had basically gotten the same from what's it called, Yogg Disciple and the Mage.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So question, it says discover a spell, so we get to choose a spell and then it casts it on a random target?
Yeah.
So if we choose, say for instance, a heal, it will just
cast it
heal
on
minion, enemy, self.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you choose an AoE, it might cast it on your board.
Depending on the area?
Yeah, so...
Wait, so how does that work if you choose something like Flame Strike? How does it cast a Flame Strike on its own board?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. When Yogg casts a Flame Strike, it's always on the opponent's board.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that makes no sense. Alright, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
Indeed.
Alright, next up we have is Blaze Caller. 7 mana for a 6/6. Stat-wise, not the greatest, but let's see what it does. Battlecry, if you played an elemental last turn, deal 5 damage? Holy shit! Think of the combo, or think of the curving yet again here. So Fire Elemental, bam, there's 3 damage, and you put a 6/5 in play. Next turn, you play this, bam, that's 5 damage, and you get a 6/6 in play. Come on now. That is just fucking Curvestone 101. That's beautiful.
I mean, it's definitely the bigger brother to what's its face. Flame.
The Fire Elemental, yeah.
Yeah, the Fire Elemental, yeah.
Alright, next up we have the Bitterhide Hydra. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 3 damage to your hero. Ooh, boy.
So, for
Wild
being able to get out
Pyromancer
of 5 mana.
Oh my god. Dude, some wild Pyromancer shenanigans could be fucking hilarious here. Could be just hilarious.
This is essentially like that card that Warlock class has. That you damage yourself. Yeah, whenever it gets hit. not exactly the best of things to have out. Even if it is that you feel, hey, well, this is bad and not so bad because at least you don't get shield slammed and die.
No, you don't.
You
But you
only
know,
take 3
but you know
damage.
what does happen though? Ravaging Ghoul, Whirlwind, Ravaging Ghoul, Slam, Slam, and then a Shield Slam. How much damage is that? That's 1, 2.
Maybe
That
15.
is fucking 12 damage you just took because of that.
Ouch.
Yeah,
That's gonna hurt.
that's definitely gonna hurt, man. So yeah. All right. Next up, we got the Gentle Megasaur. This was one of the early revealed cards. 4 mana for a 5/4, basically Tall Strider. Battlecry, adapt your Murlocs. Yeah, because Finjo, he wasn't disgusting already. Now you want to give a Bluegill the possibility of getting Whirlwind? Gee fucking G. Or Wind Fury? G fucking G. That's all I'm gonna say on that is G fucking G. That's just scary enough right there.
That's gonna get run in every Murloc deck.
Oh, it doesn't even have to be in a pure Murloc deck. Anything that runs the Finja water package can utilize this to get that extra bit of value.
Yeah, I forgot that this whole water thing is a thing now in Hearthstone. This water package idea.
Hey man, I grinded that all the way up to 3.
GG's well played.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Alright, and next up we've got the Bright-Eyed Scout. 4 mana for a 3/4. Battlecry, draw a card, change its cost to 5.
Yeah, I don't really see that getting played.
I disagree with you on this because you could play it next turn. So again, in Druid, this makes sense.
But how do you know what your next card's gonna be?
That's why I said in Druid, it makes sense.
And Druid, I guess it's situational at best.
Yeah, if you're going to be playing...
Because even if you play this and then you draw Innervate, your life sucks.
Yeah, that will suck. All right, let's be honest. There are some really bad ones here. Obviously, getting a Wild Growth is going to suck. But if you're running a decent amount of high drop cards, yeah. And I've been going through some permutations on deck design, and I kind of figured it out to be, what is it, 20, give or take, yeah, about 26% of the deck is going to be 4 or less, and the rest of it's going to be above 4. So a card like this can actually make a lot of sense going in there, but then that does change that if you're running 2 of these, it changes it to 32% of the deck is 4 or less. So it's, what is that? 2 out of 3 chance of it actually being a viable card. So that's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Mind you, when it does pull the Innervate, you're going to fucking hate life and just want to hit fucking Escape Concede.
This is true.
Alright, Gelatinous Ooze, 3 mana, 3/3, Battlecry. Destroy your opponent's weapon and gain armor equal to its attack. Dude, I play this over Acidic Swamp Ooze 10 for 10. You know? 10 for 10. Gaining armor off a weapon? Yeah. Gorehow, your days are numbered, bro. Fucking numbered. Oh, hey, Pirate Warrior. Thanks for the heal.
Yeah, I feel like that was the main thing that they were trying to combat when they made this card.
Yeah, that's exactly what it does. Like, oh, hey, you have Fire War Eyes. Hey, I just destroyed it and gained 3 life. Thanks. Appreciate it. Next up, we've got the Emerald Hive Queen. It's a beast. It is 1 mana, 2/3. Your minion costs 2 more.
So it's a cheaper mana wraith, basically?
Yeah, but Mana Wraith affects your opponent as well. This doesn't. Or, no, it does. It does. So this is an interesting...
Your minions cost 2 more. So this only applies to the person that's playing it.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. So it's a worse Mana Wraith.
So why would you play this exactly?
Maybe you're playing a control deck and you need to... No, that makes no sense at that point.
Hence why I'm like, so why would you play this then?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I'm not. I don't see a path of. I don't see the line for this one, Chiv.
No, I don't either. There's no logistical reason why I would ever do that. All right. Next up, we got the Volcano Sword. This is actually one of the daily login rewards. You get a gold version of this. That's going to be cool. That's like the last one login reward.
What, the Volcano Sword?
Yeah, golden version of this. 7 mana, 5/6, Battlecry, adapt, and then adapt. So you get 2
adapt
adapts.
Inception.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, if you're running Bran and it's wild, you're going to get 4 adapts with it. 7 mana for a 5/6 is not overly that spectacular, but if you're able to pull off +3/+3 with this, then you're talking about an 8/9 for 7. Not bad. Not bad at all. If you pull off Stealth and Wind Fury, not bad at all.
True.
Alright, so pretty solid card. Next up, you've got the Frozen Crusher, a 6 mana 8/8. After this minion attacks, freeze it.
Silence Priest.
Silence Priest is definitely going to have value here. I was thinking about if maybe Handlock could ever come back now that, what is it, the Molten Giants are gone. And I kind of feel like this could possibly do it, because putting these down on the board, if you're able to taunt them up, they gain serious value.
Wait, yeah, they Molten Giants are getting rotated out?
No, they're not getting rotated out, but nobody plays them anymore because they changed their statting on it. You have to go down to 5 life to get the value out of it.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely see playing this and then maybe taunting them up. Yeah, sure, they're frozen, they can't attack, but they're still taunts, so they're still gonna have to go through them in order to fucking get to your face. So that's still value.
True.
And of course, as you mentioned, Purify Priest.
All day, every day.
Alright, next up we got Servant of Kalamos. 5 mana, 4/5. Battlecry, if you played an element, last turn, discover an elemental. Wow.
That's going to be a pretty powerful one.
It's actually a decent 5-drop. And we're actually getting to the point now where you could actually have a deck of almost 100% elements.
Yep.
That's a scary concept, dude.
Well, I mean, they're really pushing this whole elemental thing with this expansion, so it's understandable.
Alright, next up we've got the Tol'vir Stone Shaper. 4 mana for a 3/5, so you're talking Senjin stats. Battlecry, if you played an elemental last turn, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. Correction, this could be a better Senjin Shieldmaster. It's like if Senjin Shieldmaster and Sunwalker had an illegitimate Tauren Troll love child. This is what it would be.
Fair enough.
Oh, it's a scary concept. Alright, next up we've got the Stone Chill Defender, 3 mana, 1/4 taunt. Battlecry, discover a taunt minion. I could see this maybe in Warriors to some degree. Maybe.
Maybe.
It's not overly good, but it's not overly bad either. I mean, 3 mana for 1/4, you're talking about Silverback Patriarch stats at that point. But it's got the Battlecry of Discover a taunt minion.
Yeah, the Discover gives the cycling.
Yeah. So it's kind of good. Alright, next up we've got is the Devilsaur Egg. 3 mana, 0/3, and when it dies, it summons a 5/5 Devilsaur.
That is definitely getting played in Token Druid.
Oh, that's getting played in Token Druid, that's getting played in Shaman, that's getting played in a Zoo-type deck, that's getting played in a lot of shit, dude. Guaranteed getting played. Hell, you might even see this pop up in Rogue, because Rogue is one of the only classes now that can give a minion +4 attack for 1 mana.
This is true.
With Coldblood.
Yeah.
It is feasibly possible. Not to mention the fact that we still have access to things such as Argent Squire, right? So, good value there. I like the card. I really do. Okay, next up we've got the Vicious Fledgling. That card art is fucking sick.
I wonder how it looks golden.
Oh yeah, that like pinkish purple bird pterodactyl thing just looks awesome. It's like kind of Flintstone-y in so many ways. So we got a 3 mana 3/3. After this minion attacks a hero, adapt. Whoo! this card could get insane.
Because you could just keep attacking and buffing it each turn.
Yep. But you're going to have to find a way of protecting it. Again, I got to go back to Paladin because Paladins have access to the 1-mana Adapt card. And playing this on turn 4 with that card, you run the chance of being able to get a Stealth on it, a Divine Shield on it, so on and so on. So, I mean, that's pretty good value.
This is true.
That is pretty good value. Now, here's another thing about it, all right? So, if you were able to pull that off and you attack to your opponent's face, boom, you get Wind Fury on it. You get to attack again. So, if you attack to your opponent's face again, you get another Adapt on it.
Makes sense.
That's got some...
That's value right there, man.
That is value. However, pulling that off is going to be a fucking, difficult path, but it could be kind of cool.
Yeah,
all right,
that's definitely worth it.
Oh yes, most definitely. All right, next up we've got the Homogeneous Razor Leaf. 3 mana, 4/8, can't attack. Wow.
Silence Priest.
Silence Priest. You can taunt this up real easily. So many different ways you could exploit this.
I saw somebody messaging on Hearthstone board today asking if they think Handlock might actually make a comeback.
It might. It has the possibility. Now that Reno Lock is out, Warlocks are kind of left with really only one deck to play until somebody figures out how to make Handlock good again. So it is possible. All right. So yeah, pretty much taunt or silence. It's the only viability for it. But once you do that, if you're looking at the Priest specifically, you have some really good potential here of just bursting your opponent's face on turn 4. Right? So you silence this for no mana, right? You double its health, then you turn it into a 16/16 that's smacking the face on turn 4.
On turn 4. Yeah, that's legit, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. At that point, you either have, like, Hex, Poly, Mulch, or you're done. You're pretty much dunzos.
You're dunzos.
Alright, moving on. We've got the Galaka Crawler. 2 mana, 2/3. Battlecry, go fuck yourself, pirates. Gain +1/+1. I think that says it all right there.
Literally the only reason that card was created. Just to dick over pirates.
Okay, we got a common neutral here. The 10 mana, 7/14 Ultra Sword. Okay, so yeah.
It's a lot of stats in 1 minute.
Yeah. And again, going back to what I've been saying, yeah, you can flip this over and hit somebody in the face for 14. Almost everything that with this huge amount of health, I'm always going to point out, and you can flip this over and hit somebody for an exorbitant amount of damage. But look at this. For 1 mana less, you can get a 6/10 taunt.
Booyah.
In the giant Mastodon. That art's pretty legit, too. Alright, moving on. The 7 mana Sated Threshodon. Yeah. Death Rattle summon 3 1/1 Murlocs. Again, this plays that quest quite nicely.
Indeed it does.
5/7's a little difficult to deal with, too. This might be a Hex target or a Poly target.
I can see that.
Yeah. Alright. Next up, we've got the 7 mana 4/8 Stormwatcher Wind Fury. Yeah, remember when I was talking about Hex and Poly targets? Yeah, there you go. Right there.
7 mana is a hefty amount to invest in something that can get polymorphed.
It is, because it doesn't have stealth. So, alright, next up we got the Sabertooth Stalker. 6 mana for an 8/2 stealth minion. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Well, it's a beast, so it's definitely going to see some play in probably Beast Druid or Beast Hunter. That much is a certainty.
I would like to point out that you can play this in Rogue quite nicely.
Because it has the stealth.
Yep.
Get that burst surprise damage.
You could on turn 7, you could throw down Shadow Sensei, take it to a 10/4, and then drop double Cold Bloods and hit somebody in the face for 18.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on, man. This is how I think.
No, I'm not knocking it. Like, I'm just looking at that 2 health, and I'm like,
that's why the Shadow Sensei comes in, because that'll give it the +2 health.
Fair enough.
All right, you know, you're making this kind of play as a punch to the face. Because when you look at how certain combinations go when you're talking about Edwin Vancleef, normally it's getting like around 8 to 12, and then getting stealth, right? So if you're able to get it to 10, and it's already coming in stealth, and then you're just throwing in a Cold Blood on it, it's kind of the same effect, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
A lot of the times you're not doing those Edwin turns till after 6 anyway. So I see this as definitely a viable card in Rogue. Alright.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Nesting Rock. 5 mana for a 4/7 Battlecry. If you control at least 2 other minions, gain Taunt. Ooh.
So you get a 5 mana taunted force of them. And I mean, with all the token stuff that we're seeing in the set, it's not that hard to have 2 minions on the field in the same turn, especially if this costs 5 mana.
Are you kidding me? Fucking Paladins, they just throw down that jungle card for 1 mana, they gain 2 tokens.
Hey, that
Boom.
Weapon don't look so bad now, does it?
No, that weapon don't look so bad now at all. Actually, no, it still does. Hunters, you throw down the Alley Cat and then play this. Value.
True.
I think it's actually a pretty legit card. Alright, Steglodon, 4 mana for a 2/6 taunt. Yeah, we already talked about that, so it's okay. Next up, we've got 4 mana Fire Plume Phoenix, Battlecry, deal 2 damage. It's a 3/3. Again, kind of mediocre, but kind of okay.
True.
And it is an elemental, I might like to point out. Next up, we've got the Igneous Elemental. 3 mana for a 2/3. Add 2 1/2 elementals to your hand. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It fuels the whole elemental cycle engine scenario.
It does. Alright. Next up, we've got...
Murloc?
No, we've got the Pterodact Hatchling. 3 mana, 2/2, Battlecry, Adapt.
Yep.
Oh my god. And it's adorable.
It does look pretty cute.
It does.
Need to see that in golden.
Mm-hmm. I will agree with this. Alright. Next up, we've got the Giant Wasp. A 3 mana, stealth, poisonous, 2/2 beast. Okay, a couple things I want to point out here. Because it's a beast, there are some options to make this a little bit better, especially coming on turn 4. Houndmaster is definitely a thing, so this now becomes a 4/4 with poisonous effect. If you're in Druid, you could throw the adaptation spell they have for multiple minions, and then get even more value out of this. If you get a Divine Shield on this and it kills something, it still poisons it. So you can get another turn with it. So that's kind of some good value there, but really, outside of this, it's just a slightly better statted Patient Assassin for 1 mana more.
Fair enough.
Yeah. See, next up we have the 3 mana, 3/1 Egg Napper. Death Rattle, summon 2 1/1 Raptors. This could be good. This could be really good. Especially in that
Anything that gives you more minions aboard is definitely never a bad thing.
Oh yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. But it's not overly that good, but it has some potential. In Arena, I play it. Hands down. Alright, Thunder Lizard. Battlecry. If you played an elemental last turn, adapt. So it's a 3 mana 3/3. You can make it a 3 mana 3/6. You can make it a 3 mana 6/3. You can give it Divine Shield, Stealth, Wind Fury, all the fun little mechanics. It's not an overly powerful card, but it's not an overly bad card either. So I'm kind of on the fence on how I feel about this card.
Okay.
Next up, we got a Murloc. Actually, we got a couple of them coming up.
Yes.
3 mana, 3/2, Primal Fin,
And
Lookout,
Lookout. Yep.
Battlecry. If you control another Murloc, discover a Murloc.
Call for that backup.
Hell yeah. There's going to be situations where you are playing Finja and you don't have any sort of way of buffing it up. So you'll probably throw this down trying to discover either War Leader or the Oracle to give it a +1. That's definitely a really cool synergy right there you can do.
True.
Alright, Tar Creeper, 3 mana, 1/5, has +2 attack during your opponent's turn. This is the card that everybody is raving about for the elementals. I think this is an amazing card. I like it. What are your thoughts?
3 mana. Same taunt effect where you don't get the attack bonus on your turn. So it's primarily a defensive card, which God knows Hearthstone needs defensive cards.
Oh yes, because fuck you aggro.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a decently statted. It's better than, what's that ape card that's like 1 for taunt? I forget, and it's a beast.
Silverback Patriarch.
That one, yeah. It's definitely better than that same stat line almost. So yeah, this definitely sees play as early way to contest board and help slow down the aggressive decks.
I agree. Then we get to the Volatile Elemental. 2 mana for a 1/1 Death Rattle, deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. So if you're going up against a class like Druid, Mage, or Rogue, this card is bullshit bad. If you're going up against, especially if they have no board. If you're going up against a class that does not have that, i.e. Hunter, Warrior, and Priest, yada yada yada, it's okay. That means they'll have to invest something in it to kill it. So I kind of like this card. If you can get this down on an empty board, and it's not against any of those classes, you're going to guarantee be able to at least do 1 damage to the face, and when they do bring out a minion, you can deal at least 4 damage to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a good card. Alright, next up we've got the Rabasaur Runt. 2 mana for a 2/2 Battlecry. If you control at least 2 other minions, adapt. I could see some value in this. Like, in an egg deck, I would definitely play this card.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's 2/2 for 2.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the possibility of adapting. I mean,
hey, you can't go wrong if you're adapting, right? So, I mean, it makes sense. And like we were saying with the other cards before, it's like, with how all the card synergies are looking, it's not going to be that hard to have minions on board, per se, once you have the cards in hand. Because they're either low-costed or they're generating from other cards that you can play, so...
Yeah, I mean, in Druid, you could go on turn 2, coin, the 1/2 pirate that weakens a weapon, which brings in patches, and then play this down and get the adapt on it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a strong opener. That is a very, very strong opener. And because it's a beast, you can follow it up with Marquis Sarge to get the card draw and buff this up some more. So I think this is actually a pretty legit card.
I would be inclined to agree with you.
Next up, we've got the Stubborn Gastropod. A snail! We actually got a snail in Hearthstone! We actually got one. And it's funny because it's a 2 mana 1/2 taunt and poisonous. It's gonna stop something and slow it the fuck down, alright? It's gonna slow it to the fucking grave.
Very, very... very good card. I feel like it's almost a step above the poisonous snake or cobra that we had from way back when. Because at least this has taunt, so you know it has to run into something. It's not something that they can easily just get around unless they already have board that they can trade into it to help decide what they want to actually kill off.
Right, and it's a common card, so if you're going up against a hunter, and you're seeing a lot of Hunter in the meta, and you're pretty sure that they're gonna have that damn Swamp King thing.
Mm-hmm.
This makes so much sense. Spend 2 mana, destroy their 7 mana.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Can definitely see where it makes sense.
Yeah, that's just value for days. All right. We got another, and it's the last of the Murlocs. The Rockpool Hunter. 2 mana,
Oh yeah.
2 mana, 2/3. Battlecry. Give a friendly Murloc +1/+1.
Playing that shit on curve all day, every day.
You have to have a Murloc in play that survived.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
get out any 1-drop, as long as it stays alive, you definitely want to buff it so it stays alive longer.
Nah,
And
see, I'm looking for more of the late game. I look for Finja synergy. So what I see here.
yeah, but that's the thing. If you're playing a Murloc deck, 9 times out of 10 you're playing an early aggressive Murloc deck. There's not that many mid-range Murloc decks.
I've evolved past that.
You've transcended aggro Murloc like
Yes.
that.
Yes, I have. I've transcended it to Burst Rogue Murloc. But yeah, no, like the Finja synergy with this is pretty good. So like Finja's already on board. Normally you just play down a War Leader if you've got it. Boom. But now you could also throw this on top of it. The downside is if you're running like multiple copies of this in your deck, Finja might possibly pull them, and it kind of weakens that synergy up a lot. In other cases, I kind of see this as if you have a good set of Murlocs already on the board, then playing this down to add a little bit more extra value to them, and then possibly using something like Anything Can Happen, which I believe is rotating out, isn't it?
Anything can happen.
Pretty sure it is.
Paladin.
No, not.
I don't think so.
No, Anything is awesome. My bad. Or every Fin is awesome.
Oh, everything that. Because I'm like, anything can happen.
That's
League of
rotating
Explorers,
out.
so that is rotating out.
Yeah, it is rotating out. But there are a lot of other scenarios where it's actually pretty damn decent, and it adds a Murloc count. So it's not horribly bad.
Yeah, everything is awesome is rotating out too.
Yeah, it's not horribly bad. I think it's actually pretty decent. Next up, we've got another beast. It's a 1-mana beast. It's the Emerald Reaver. Battlecry. Deal 1 damage to each hero.
Interesting. Why does that sound like a priest card that I used to know?
Yeah, that was the Mad Bomber, and that dealt 3. Or it dealt 2. I don't remember how much it dealt.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, that card was fun, though. That was part of my aggro priest deck.
No, it was 3. Shadow Bomber. Yeah, battle deal 3 damage to each hero. Yep.
Yeah, I used that in my aggro priest deck. People didn't know what to fucking do about it.
Yeah, Nox was like the first person I saw use that shit.
Yeah. Now, the cool thing about this is it's a 1-drop card. It's a beast, so it's going to play very well into Hunter. It's a great option to fill in there. Especially if you want to have more of a consistent early game to basically smork your opponents out of having any sort of mid to late game. I would definitely say that this is a good play.
Okay.
And it works well with the quest too, so GG. Next up we've got Firefly. This is another common, and it's an elemental, and it's 1 mana, so you're going to be able to curve into some of those activations a lot easier with it, specifically because of what its Battlecry is. Add a 1/2 elemental to your hand. That's pretty goddamn good. And that 1/2 only costs 1 mana as well.
Fire.
I'm not hating it. I think it's pretty damn good. And as if there weren't enough low-cost elemental options, we get one last one. It's the final card we're going to be reviewing.
Yay.
I know, this has been like... I can't even read my screen now. Like 3 hours.
I think we've been at this for a while.
Oh my god, it's a huge set. Glacial Shard. 1 mana, 2/1. Freeze an enemy.
No more Iceland.
I know, but guess what? They just made
Shatter!
Shatter's now viable, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only reason this card exists, is to make Shatter viable.
Pretty much.
We did it!
Make Shatter great again.
Make Shatter great again. What the hell? Why? Oh, man. Yeah. So, yeah, we spent 3 hours on doing this. I'm probably actually going to divide this video up into several segments, just letting you
Makes
guys
sense.
know. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
You can probably do it by class.
Yeah, I'm going to do class and then go into the
Neutrals.
neutrals, just to make life easier for people. I'm not going to go over all the fucking tokens, alright? I've already spent 3 hours on this. I know you got to be tired, bro. It's like 4:30 in the morning here. It's got to be 3:30 in the morning there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you really enjoyed these. If you like these videos, please like, subscribe, leave me some comments down below. And just a big shout out to the Jamaican community of Hearthstone. You guys are always trying to innovate new things. When I played up against some of your players, you guys were fucking just downright brutal. Others of you were, well, you tried.
Entertaining.
You were entertaining. Some of the deck designs, like, what the fuck is... How did I lose to this? What the hell? But they're a great group of people there. And as always, don't forget to check out Luminosity Gaming and all of our wonderful NA pros. Chacky,
Hell yeah.
Muzzy, Zalay, Lefrozan. All of them just doing great things for the NA community. Till next time, this is Chiv saying stay safe, have fun, and may RNGs bless you.